What's going on, y'all? Gazerbeam 2K back here with the Gust podcast. Co-host Subin is to the left of me? The right of me? Where are you?
Somewhere. I'm somewhere beside you in a plane of existence.
He's right here. Stupid man. It's Monday night. We're doing another Monday podcast, man. Should we just move the whole podcast to Mondays? Is that just a thing we should do now?
I mean, we have Milwaukee and NAIC coming up, so that's kind of getting in the way. So yeah, probably Monday nights from now on.
I know a lot of people, you guys waiting like Sunday, like, when's the Gust to win? And I know all three of you guys are waiting for it. Hold your horse. It's gonna be on Mondays from now on. Stu, man, good weekend, busy weekend. Talk to me real quick.
The boss man went to Colossal Con for 6 days, so I worked every day. So I haven't had a day off. I don't get a day off until Thursday. So I'm just trying to do what I can when I can. How about you?
Big Bang Stubin, I see you. This weekend, I actually went to my very first ever 1K.
Okay. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely got some stuff to say about that. Met a few people.
Okay.
Interesting time. Switched decks last second. Like I had like one deck, two deck. I switched last second, and it felt like the right call. Misplayed a couple times, but I also had a turn where I went like Ultra Instinct and I played like Zach Lesage or somebody like that, man.
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah. Speaking of him, we are joined by none other than Zach Lesage. How's it going, Zach?
Welcome everyone.
How you feeling today?
Zachary,
I'm feeling great today. I mean, awesome. It's a little bit of a rainy day up here in America's Hat, but other than that, we're big chilling. Had a pretty good weekend myself. Thanks for asking, guys. Appreciate it. It's one of those things where, didn't really do too much. We just got back from Vancouver the week before, and I mean, I think next weekend's Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So just kind of using this week to test my butt off with the Astro Radiance format, and should be a really exciting. It's an exciting time for anyone who enjoys Pokemon. New packs, new decks, new everything.
That's the fun stuff. If no one knows what exactly someone said America's Hat, I think he means Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
He's at
land Canada. Of the maple syrup and yeah.
My favorite part
of hats
is the Poutine. Poutine all day.
Speaking of hats,
it's so good. It's
a good choice.
I've never tried it. I can't say I have. But no,
speaking of hats, we can make it for you. It's fine.
You can make it?
Yeah, you just go to the store and buy cheese curds and you make your own gravy and fries, and it's easy peasy. Emily and I did it a few weeks ago after Passmantoot dared us to do it, and it was really good. It was really good homemade, yeah.
I mean, if you're putting cheese and gravy on anything, it has to be kind of good, right? Like, let's be real. Mm-hmm. I think it's one of those things where we could put that on top of steak, that'd be really good. We could put that on top of cereal, probably not as good, but probably good.
Oh, steak fries with gravy and cheese. Oh.
Ooh.
I'm gonna leave that to you guys. I'll just stick with my McDonald's.
I think you can technically
McDonald's is fire. McDonald's is fire.
You could technically get poutine at McDonald's in some places in Canada, right?
We have it at every McDonald's.
Okay.
Really?
Every fast food has their own poutine. As the Quebecois, we have to say poutine. So it's one of those things where you get it everywhere. Because we have like a division of the A&W that y'all have out somewhere. I know that there's some out there. Even like our Burger Kings, our Wendy's, all these places that are all like global chains, they each have their own unique take on it. It's kind of like you can't go anywhere without it. It's they're trying to shove it down our throats.
Oh man, I would try it, all of them.
Back in my 20s, my college days, we'll call it that. After a night of studying and playing Pokemon cards, poutine hits difference anywhere.
Oh yeah, that early pre-hangover food, basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'd love to try all the different varieties of it. I've always seen a restaurant chain called Smokes or whatever. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, Smokes Poutine. We have one like 5 minutes from my house.
Oh man, I'm jealous. I've always wanted to go. I see all these videos on TikTok of it, and I'm like, oh man, I want to go so bad.
They're pretty cool. Not necessarily like super traditional, but they're good.
Okay.
It's one of those things where like I think you got to go there once and make your own opinion.
Okay. I can dig it. So you are a YouTuber extraordinaire, the host of the late night series, competitive player. You won one of the Players Cup tournaments.
Players Cup 2, wasn't it? Number 2?
Players Cup number 2.
Yeah.
2.
So you've got a whole career under your belt for the Pokemon trading card game. So we're definitely stoked to have you on and get some insight and some knowledge and share it with some of the people that enjoy any of it at all. So Again, thanks for being
Yeah,
with
and
us.
just to speak for myself, Zach, man, you're inspiration to me, my guy. Just the way you approach the game, the way you play the game. You're not. I know you're a great player. You're a talented player, but the fact that you host this late night weekly, and it takes away from you know getting to play and getting the test for yourself, and you still find the time to put those YouTube videos, man. That's just inspiration. I can't find a moment to make YouTube, man. It's so tough, man. YouTube is hard, and the fact that you grind that out, man. Salute to you.
I gotta give a huge shout out to Nespresso. Shout out to the Nespresso machine that's keeping me caffeinated 24/7. Even though inside I feel like I'm dead half the time, and hopefully it doesn't come out in the videos or anything else. That's the 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning special. So shout out to Nespresso. We appreciate you. Salute.
Gotta stay caffeinated, man. But no, you have a video out almost every day, like almost daily uploads. So you rarely miss a beat on that. How do you keep that going? Other than caffeine, how do you keep that daily upload focus going?
You want to know what I think it's I hear a lot of talk about like the grind and stuff like that. At the end of the day, Pokemon, I do Pokemon full time, so it's not like I do it full time or whatever. Like I live out here in Canada, pretty expensive. Third most expensive city in Canada, Barrie, about 40 minutes north of Toronto.
Oh my gosh.
So it's one of those things where if I miss a YouTube upload, that could be me and my family missing a meal. And it's not like I'm not in a position where it's like I'm going to miss a meal over one upload or anything else like that. But it's the same way that like even if you don't want to necessarily do something someday, everyone has their days where they don't want to wake up and they want to call into work. And then you look at it and you're like, hey, I need to get paid. So it's not to say that Pokemon's only a paycheck at this point or anything else like that. I truly have passion in Pokemon, and I mean, I wouldn't be putting 16, 18-hour days into Pokemon otherwise, but sometimes you got to be motivated by something. So really just being able to survive first and foremost. The growth of the channel is something that is me, myself. And I mean, of course, I have friends and sponsors and the community that we all have to cheer us on along as we go. I'm sure both of you experience that as Twitch streamers. You're like, it's definitely part of that community effort. So seeing that growth is really cool too. Some days are tougher than others, where it's just like, hey, you want to know what? We all have a bad month on Twitch or YouTube, and you're like, hey, you want to know what? Views are down. This is down. Does everyone hate me now or anything else like that? But I think it's really just in strive towards something. I know that I was really pushing for it more when I was trying to get to the 10,000 subs, which we got there about a month back or something like that.
Let's go.
But yeah, no, it's sick. But it's like, where do you go from next, right? Like, where do you go next? Is it 15K? That number doesn't sound right in my head or anything else like that. So it's like, I think the next big platform on YouTube is 100,000, which is obviously a ways away. And I mean, there's a lot of great content creators like Mahone, and I think Frosted Caribou actually just got there. But it's one of those things where like I don't know what's next until I get to that point. So I'm just trying to figure out this in between. I'm going through those awkward teenager growing pains right now, and we're trying to rediscover and become the best YouTube content possible.
Well, hey man, keep growing and keep doing your thing. I think it was the great Canadian philosopher and philanthropist Drake once said, "Let's see what's about to happen next." So
okay,
I'm just waiting to see what you got in store for us next, man.
I don't think I've ever heard of their work, Gazer. Can you enlighten me?
I'll send you a link later.
Okay, all right.
Gazer, where did you start? Did you start it from the bottom?
And now I'm still at the bottom. Yes,
now you're here.
I'm still at the bottom.
Oh my god. All right, let's do this 6 prize turn. We're gonna ask you 6 random questions. They're kind of predetermined, kind of not. Just give us the fastest, most honest answer you've got.
Gotcha.
We'll start now. What's your favorite dessert?
Ooh, Nanaimo bars. I think y'all don't have those.
Another
Canadian thing.
Nahua, huh?
It's like, let's go with brownies. We'll make
no. Describe Nanaimo bars to us real quick.
Okay, I have to pull this up because I don't know how to describe it. Thank you, Google search.
It's one of those things which is so good I can't describe it. It's so good.
Like it's like a chocolate. Okay, so there's like this coconut graham cracker kind of ish crust. It's like a dessert bar.
Okay.
And then it's got this like cream filling.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has like this chocolate top.
I like chocolate. Okay.
They're pretty delicious. Like I mean they're from BC.
Okay.
British Columbia. Lots of great things. So yeah, a wafer, custard icing thing, and then a chocolate ganache on top. They're pretty delicious. And
Is
they're
it
probably
something you can
like
like walk into a
I'm
store
looking
and
like
just buy?
LeConte. Yeah,
Is
we
it-
could go to the grocery store and buy it. Our Starbucks out here have them.
Okay,
Oh.
cool.
Canada's a
All right.
different country.
Well,
Swear to
yeah, but
Of course. So when I make my way to Canada and I come to see Zach
If
Lesage,
you-
will
if
take me
you
to get a
come to
couple
the
in the name of ours?
If you come to the 6, we will drive around the 6 and we will have all the Canadian foods.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
What's the
All right. Question number 2. What's your biggest PTCG accomplishment?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go with the Players Cup too. I think
Okay.
that's it's hard to like quantify that one exactly because like how many entrants actually were there that were grinding out for those tournament tickets to try to qualify? If we're gonna go with our inside content, if it's not PTCGO, and if we're going within real life, got this one from Oceania International is 2020, so coming second there, that was huge with Reshiram and Charizard GX Toolbox.
Oh, I saw that on YouTube. I did watch that YouTube video. I remember that.
So that one was cool. But yeah, so toss up between those. Those are definitely my two big ones that I hold near and dear to the heart.
awesome.
Okay.
Current sleeves, deck box, and playmat of choice.
Ooh, okay. So sleeves, I am a huge Ultra Pro simp. It's one of those things where I love the Eclipse sleeves, and I'm not like a normal like person. If you ask me, like, do you play matte or gloss? I actually just don't know the difference. I like the way that Eclipses shuffle. Seriously, I just can't tell. You think like Zach could tell? I'm not paying attention to sleeves that much, but the Ultra Pro Eclipses overall have been amazing. Deck box, I also just rock around with this one, but I don't know, it's one of the tower ones. I used to be sponsored by Ultra Pro, but I love their sleeves regardless. Dragon Shields cut off my sausage fingers. Playmat, I'm pretty plain Jane nowadays. I have a bunch of playmats, but I'll just play the one that they give me like at the regionals.
Less you got to take with you.
Which one? What's right?
That's less you have to take with you when you go.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
think that's
I
where
like
I'm
that.
at.
I
My
like
bag
that.
gets heavy throughout the day, and I mean, if I'm worrying about a heavy bag, I'm not worrying about the game in front of me.
So at regionals, they have mats already just set out for you guys.
You get
No,
check
they
in.
give you you know, there's like $60 to get into the regionals or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it costs money. They give you like a playmats, or they give you a playmat and like a promo card. That's it, for the most part. Some they give you a little bit more, and they'll give you some like other Ultra Pro sleeves or whatever sponsors BCW sleeves or whoever they're sponsored by. But yeah, exactly. That's the.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a playmat there. Oh, maybe I do have.
I have
Or I got this one from the team challenge. So sometimes I have a back
Yeah.
of one in my
there we
hotel
go.
room.
Yep.
So just whatever. I mean, I just like it being pretty simple.
Mm-hmm. I have a Marnie playmat that my wife found somewhere, and I would use it from her. So
True.
yeah.
Marnie's cool. We
Yeah,
stand
just-
Marnie in this household.
Next question. What's your favorite dairy product?
That's a toss up between butter and heavy cream. I'm a French trained classic chef, so it's one of those things where we use a lot of the heavy cream and the butter. When it comes to like milk or anything else like that, I try to go non-dairy whenever possible because I low key think I'm lactose intolerant. But like I'm not diagnosed or anything, but I'm pretty sure I am.
Oh yeah.
My old body feels like I am.
If I have the
It
choice to
keeps you
get
regular.
like almond milk or oat milk, I'll take it if I can. 100%.
Hey, being lactose just keeps you regular. That's why I look at it. Just keeps you guys, and just everything flows out. You're good.
Okay.
100%.
All right. If you had to eliminate one of these off the surface of the earth forever, pizza or pasta?
Sheesh.
I'm eliminating pizza.
Okay.
This guy.
I'm
I
a
mean, I
pasta
guess
fan.
I like both, but I guess you're right because you can do a lot more with pasta too. I guess you're right.
But pizza slaps, though. Don't get me wrong. Pizza slaps.
Normally it's a 6 prize term. I have an extra bonus question. This is we hit sudden death. Everybody took 6 prize. We got a sudden death question. So here's question number 6. Smoliv or Lechonk? I know you've seen the new reveals, right?
I have to go with Lechonk. Lechonk
Really?
You gotta.
Zach Lechonk?
Yeah.
Oh my
Lechonk.
god.
Zach Lechonk.
You gotta make it like a new mascot eventually. Get
Oh, yeah,
emotes for it or
that
something.
That one's fire. We like
That'd be
that one.
hilarious.
But
That'd be
Small
hilarious.
is so small that they knocked that one out of the ballpark. I think they crushed that one. Whoever's inventing Pokemon right now they're my kind of people. I like.
It's like
Yeah, they're both.
it's like millennials are naming them now.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Well,
like
it's a
100%.
small, so it's very small. So Smoliv. It's small. Yeah. And that thing's kind of chunky, so LeChunk. Okay. All right, bonus question, sudden death question. Toilet paper, overhand or underhand?
Here we go again. Come on, Gazer, just let it die.
Honestly, if you're even able to put it on the toilet paper roll holder, I don't know how much y'all have that much time. You want to ask how I'm getting those extra videos out? I don't have time to change the toilet paper roll. Don't worry, I'm still wiping everybody. I'm still wiping, but it's one of those things where it's just still on top of there.
You heard it here first at the Gust to Win podcast. Zach Lesage and not use toilet paper.
I've seen the memes where they put it through the side of the roll, not the hole. That's what you got going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't know. Whichever way works. We want to keep it as clean as possible up in here.
Now, Michelle, your wife, does she have an issue with any way you set it on there or anything like that?
No, she's like, I feel like I'm the one that tries to set it more than she does sometimes. So it's one of those things where, I don't know, we're both so busy, and I mean, we're both busy. She's in school full time. I do Pokemon full time. We got the dog. We got the 6 guinea pigs.
You heard it here first. The Zach Lesage household has so many animals they do not wipe. They do not use toilet paper. Zach said it himself. You heard it here first.
He has a bidet. It's fine.
But yeah, that's the 6 prize turn, Zach. Thanks for doing that with us, man.
No worries.
Oh, that was hilarious. Gazer, you gotta stop with the toilet paper, man.
I'm trying to tell you guys, man, there's a certain way this is supposed to go. And
if you start asking every single guest we have about how they put toilet paper on the roll, we're gonna get canceled someday.
So, but I had another question for you too. Look, if you're looking for any, I don't know if you're looking for any Astro Radiance packs or cards, but look, I have 2 build and battle packs right here.
This is not a bit. This is not a bit. You're just a scammer. It's okay. It's not a bit. It's not a bit.
Forget it. I'll just open them myself. Forget it.
I mean, you should. You should open them yourself. Maybe you'll have a deck that isn't single strike.
I'll tell you about my deck later. I did something completely different. I'll tell you later.
Yeah, you played in a 1K. I mean,
I did.
We'll go super quick on that. Go for it.
Yeah, I played in my first ever 1K, my first ever big tournament. I barely started playing IRL again, like the last 2 months. Everything had been online, and then when I was like, a wee lad, when I was like 9 years old, I was playing, in real life events. But I went IRL last couple months. Went to my first 1K. Ran into the Azul out there. Azul GG, shout out to Azul. Ran into Gabe Smart, a few other streamers, a few other homies from Twitch and stuff like that. It was here in Fresno, California. A lot of them came down from Sacramento. A couple came down from LA. People travel far and wide for this 1K, man.
They usually
52
do.
Participants. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
They get pretty popular.
So yeah, they're trying to have the next one at a bigger venue because they think there's going to be more people now. Azul won the whole thing with Mew, of course. He talks about he's going to quit Mew, and Mew's letting him down, and he goes and wins a 1K with it. So he took home like 20 some odd packs, $500 and some more. So I don't know. I forget, man. He won another thing. He's always winning.
What was your record?
Well, yeah, me myself, I didn't win at all. But my first one, I feel like I did okay. I made a last second decision. I was going to run with don't laugh at me, Zach. I was going to run with Lilligant at first. Oh, okay. I'm not getting judged. I thought he was going to judge me. Okay.
I was waiting for a response.
Me too. I thought he was going to judge me.
I like Lilligant. It's Grass Welder.
Okay, this okay. I like
that.
What
I'm saying? Like, me, I played Welder for like a couple of years, and everyone's like, "Oh, Zach only plays fire types." I'm like, Gardenia, she's my girl. Like, Welder got reincarnated.
I'll tell you one thing. Lilligant is a very mid-rangey deck. I can have an explosive like turn 2. My turn 2 could be huge. I have the Gardenia. I use the V-Star power. I go grab, grass energy, and I play with Flapple. I play a Flapple build, and I get my Flapples and my Crickettoons, and I bust it turn 2. I'm knocking something out. I'm hitting something really hard, and then like the next turn, I'm like, well, now what do I do? Because I'm out of grass energy. I don't have Gardenia. I'm struggling to find something with like a Poke Gear. So I found myself struggling, mid-game. I could hit mid-range damage. I could hit, take 2 hit knockouts and get knocked out too. It's because I'm, with Crickettoon, I have 300 HP. So they have to knock me out. It's 2 for 2. Mm-hmm. But by mid-game, I'm out of gas. So I switched decks last second. I went with Reggie. I went Reggie Gigas. Played pretty well. It hits what it's supposed to do about 75% of the time. And like that's literally like all the Reggies in play, enough energy in the discard pile. But that 25%, it can cost you a couple turns. But the thing is, this deck can fall back a couple turns. I did pretty well. Misplayed like once or I had one game where I misplayed like 4 or 5 times because I was playing against another single prize deck, and it was a weird single prize box. and I did not know what was going on, and he didn't understand my deck. We were both misplaying, and he figured it out mid game. I couldn't figure it out to like the last game, and then game 2, I'm like, I'm going, but we took so much time, ran out of time. I had one prize left. Time was up. Nothing I could do, but I finished painfully average. Like if I asked you the most average way to finish a 1K, what would you say that is, Zach?
Well, how many
6 rounds.
3 seems pretty like 2-4. Do you want 2-4?
No, even more average.
Well, I think like that's below average actually. I'm like,
fine.
I love y'all.
Slightly above average than that. Slightly more average. I finished 2-2-2.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, because I was gonna be like, if you're saying 1-5 is average, homie. I mean, I'm not trying to plug my Metafy coaching here, but it's one of those things where 1-5 ain't average. We could grow that up there.
Check the links down below. Zach Lesage for Metafy coaching. Check it down below. He's right. It's right there. Someone's gonna put that in there in the description. But no, I finished 2-2-2. Out of 52 participants, I finished 26. Like literally right there in the middle.
That's perfect.
I mean, at least the ties are points.
I mean, you're not
compared to losses.
I mean, you certainly could do worse. I mean, that's one of those things where that's way better. I wasn't even thinking about ties. But
yeah, I
mean, when you're trying to think about like, I don't know, did you ever put two of the same Reggie in play by accident?
No, at one game I had to because I needed. I couldn't. I was dead drawing, so I had to go 2 Reggie Drago to try to draw, both turns. And then he got clever and he bossed up my Reggie Rock instead.
And you're like, no way, bud.
Yeah, but then I had to scoop up net, so I'm like, fine. So I just picked up the other Reggie Drago, and then I was able to hit it from there. But yeah, but other than that, no, I didn't have any issues like that. It worked. If I missed a turn by a second turn, I was good to go. My last match against Mew, which would be an easy auto win. He beat me the first game pretty bad. I just couldn't get anything going. Like the one time, that's one game I couldn't get anything going. Game 2, I flowed, I clicked, no problem. And game 3, we ran out of time, so we tied. So. Yeah, I could have tied if I didn't lose to the single prize deck. If I won that one, I would have been in a winning end. But then since I lost, the guy went on to a winning end. He didn't make it anyway. He bubbled out a ninth. Oh. But I lost, or not lost, but I played 4 of the top 9 players. 4 of the top 9. So I feel like I did pretty good. Yeah, I went 2-2 against 2-1-1 against them. So I did okay. I think I'm gonna stick with Reggie for a while. Just gotta tweak it a little bit. But that's my first big 1K, and Zach, man, I was kind of excited about it. I was like, I'm doing okay. I'm not playing dumb. I had one turn I went like Ultra Instinct, like Goku, and like the deck took control of me. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just making plays left and right, perfect plays, grabbing knockout on Arceus, and I was just like, what just happened? How'd I do that?
You like snap back into reality or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, where am I? I got a knockout. Wow.
I took a prize card.
Exactly.
Oh my god!
But no, it was a good time.
Did you have fun? That's all that matters. Did you have fun?
I did.
Good.
I did. I stuck around the whole time to watch Azul end up beating Arceus Charizard VMAX.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a guy around here, local guy Flavio. He plays a lot in your late nights. Matter of fact,
Flavio's the homie. Flavio's playing in the late nights. I mean, shout out to everyone who plays in the late night. Shout out to those who don't too. Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to everybody. Just everybody. Anyone. Yeah, but no, Flavio plays in your late nights a lot. He plays them but Charizard Arceus. And he brought it to this 1K, and he got to the finals, lost to Azul, but he ended up beating a Palkia deck to get to the finals. I'm like, how'd you beat Palkia? But he's got the math figured out. He knows what to do. His tech is I don't know if I should leak the sauce, but I'm gonna leak it. It's a weird ear.
Okay. The one that's like Heatran, but colorless type?
That one. Random Weird Ear V. So he gets enough energy in play, and then randomly, if there's a Palkia, just Weird Ear him, and then boom.
Yeah, they have to check it. Like, if they don't...
I like it, Picasso.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then he'll put down the Weird Ear, and then he'll put down the Heatran, the Radiant Heatran. And you know, with that Heatran, if that ability it builds up, it can knock out something major with, like, 4 damage counters on it? Yeah. 5 damage counters?
4.
So he forces me to have to take up a Weird Ear or take up a Heatran. So he knows his matchups. So I think I'm going to go down that route and just, start majoring and just, focusing on one deck. It wasn't going to be single strike, but Tempo Sinnoh kind of, it ruined everything. So now I'm going to focus on the Reggies.
Okay. Almost perfect transition there, though, talking about the late night. So what got you wanting to start doing the late night ultimately?
I mean, a little bit like at the early start of the pandemic, I was running some kind of Discord tournaments. I saw how everyone transitioned. Like the Play Limitless platform is still like pretty new. So I was like, oh, you want to know what? I talked to some of my sponsors because PTCGO Store has been a really big sponsor of me throughout my entire like Pokemon over the past few years. So I was like, yo, let's make something happen. And they're like, yeah, we love the idea. Let's do it. And my idea was, I've been playing Pokemon since 2005 competitively. And I've always wanted to just like run a tournament. And for me, it's one of those things where I have ideas to run tournaments, and a lot of these like tournament organizers are old school, or they might not have the tournament experience. Like, if someone's ever been to one regional in their life, I've been to 100 probably, and it's one of those things where, yeah, no, I've over the years, like it's one of those things where I built up all this tournament experience. I think I have a really good idea and knack for like what does well in a tournament and what doesn't do well. That's not to say that we haven't had any growing pains over the way, but I think we've been able to kind of cushion over a lot of it and just run excellent tournaments, because I'm able to run it myself, judge it myself, cast it myself, virtually without any issues. So it's one of those things where I really just like giving back to the community whenever possible. I think running tournaments is super cool. I really do like having a role as a tournament organizer. And it does give me a lot of opportunities to just kind of see how the metagame has like a heartbeat, like from a bird's eye view, because not every single day you get to like look into a tournament and be like, you can look through all the pairings and I have access to everything. I mean, it's kind of obsessive. I love it.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about Limitless is like all the deck lists and everything's there. Where like with Arcanine and like the Tom software, it's a convoluted mess sometimes. And
Sure.
yeah, to be able to have all the results and everything right in front of you, and like it's been awesome to see. Like honestly, like it's been a massive influence over for even for the regional metagame. Honestly, like people look at the results of late night consistently every week and be like, oh cool, this performed. Oh wow, this deck did good. And then you see people who play with like this off the wall deck, all of a sudden their deck's getting featured in all these different content creators' videos, giving them a little bit of light of day too. So it's got its own like living, breathing organism kind of feel to it, and it's super awesome to see it still flourish and continue on.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I think at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. But I mean, I got to ask myself, what would I be doing otherwise on those things? I mean, I could always find something else to do, but I really do enjoy just running them. And I think that's one of those things where I grew into a role that I didn't necessarily know that I wanted to be a part of. And I mean, here we are. We just started season 5. Season 5 starting off hot. Super excited about it.
That's
I remember a time when it was a few online tournaments going on, and yours had some staying power. I mean, we had Chill, and I missed the Chill tournaments. I missed our boy Chill, and then if you didn't play in Chill, you played in the late night, and then late night got even later, and you had the late night and things like that. But throughout all the different incarnations and iterations, you stuck around, and you're in season 5, and it's just it's a big thing, man. It's a big thing. Even with IRL play, back now in the regionals, you have to move, had to move a couple of days around. But I mean, you still pulling numbers with these tournaments, man.
Yeah, no more on the Mondays because people travel back on Mondays, including myself, and I can't run the tournament from the plane. Well, I mean, I could, but that plane Wi-Fi is it's the forbidden fruit that the card does not want to swipe on. If there's anything that I'm cheap on, I'm like, okay, you want to know, I'm going to sleep on the plane anyways. I'm one of those people that no matter what, it could be early night, late night, caffeinated up, Starbucks, triple macchiato, Ivy. On the plane, I pass out instantly. It's my skill set. I don't know if it's something to be proud of or not, but
that's pretty impressive.
I would probably be like, oh, anxiety. I can't sleep on this thing the entire time. I have, hell, I can't sleep half the time anyway, so I can't imagine passing out in a plane.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one place where I truly get to sleep, right? I don't need to worry about anything else, and I mean, if I don't wake up, so be it. See how it goes.
So with basically though, like I said earlier, it's kind of like it's defined the meta. Do you think that people will use it to continue on with like Milwaukee prep and NAIC prep? Do you think people will continue to look at these online results even after like this season concludes? We go into the next season next year. Do you think there's still like a place side by side for online results to translate to paper results?
So, I mean, in some ways, yes. I think that there's people are going to look at stuff, but in other ways, I think there's going to be other ways where I think that online players and in real life players are starting to separate a little bit more. We saw that there was a lot of the strongest players in the game and big name content creators, stuff like that were playing in these tournaments. But I think that there's there's also a lot of players that just aren't necessarily playing anymore. Some of the decks are like, there's no cost entry to the late night series or any of these tournaments.
Mhm.
So, I mean, people will sign up last seconds with seconds to spare, toss in whatever homebrew deck that they've never tried out before. But it's not the same thing as like if you even look at Gazer's experience, where it's like, you want to know what? We're going to Fresno for the 1K. Azul's there, Gaze Smart's there. You have great players playing great decks who are really practicing the night before because they have an edge.
Mhm.
So even like with money in the late night series, because we've offered thousands of dollars of prize support. Even like some nights we do 500. Even we've had some Metafy sponsored ones. That one I think was a 2K one.
Mhm.
But I think there's a lot of things just going on there. So I think it's separate. I feel like it's separating a little bit, but I don't think we've ever actually had a super active online scene with a super active in real life scene. I know that there was a few of those Poke Beach tournaments back in the day that they run through like their Discord server and stuff like that. I don't think we've ever had anything as robust as what we have with Play Limitless nowadays. And I don't think that's allowed us, like, I think now we have some staying power. We'll see what curbs force. I mean, the world's been completely unpredictable over the past couple of years. So I think having online tournaments run side by side with in real life tournaments is the only thing to do. I'm sure there's players who, for reasons that they may or may not want to say publicly, will be able to play events or not be able to play events. We give them an opportunity to be playing events. We give people who might be, their health might be compromised if they're attending or going outside. I mean, this gives them an opportunity to have a taste of Pokemon. So, I mean, I think it's full circle. And I mean, for financial reasons, I know that there's some people that probably got hurt during the pandemic as well. I mean, it hasn't been easy for everyone or anyone. So I think that there's a lot of opportunities to play online. So yeah, it definitely does have an effect on the metagame to some degree. I think it's a little bit lesser than it was when the whole game was online only about 4 months back. But trust me, I'm looking at I'm looking at those lists. I mean, we see a lot of players see success online and in real life, and I think that's the coolest thing.
Yeah, that's been awesome to see a lot of players who have made names for themselves online, like make day 2, top 128, top 64, top 8. Like it's awesome. Like Liam Kidd. I mean, he got top 8 in Vancouver, and he's made a name for himself online before too. So
yeah, Liam was at the 1K, matter of fact. And then I also think of Ricardo Totti. He played a lot of Limitless tournaments, and he had played IRL too.
Regionals in I think Brazil. So
yeah.
He played a lot of he played in a few regionals. IRL. I think he played in 1 or 2, but played a lot of stuff online, and then he went and just took runner up at that one in Brazil. So it's translating. It's starting to get there.
Well, the other thing too that I find is really cool is now that Pokemon, it doesn't get talked about enough, but Pokemon splits the Oceania region, which used to be Australia, New Zealand, and the Asian playing countries that were observed, and now those are part of TPCI Asia. So it's really cool now to see globally the whole game come together, because there are players from China, there are players from Japan, there are players from Singapore, like Cash and stuff like that are playing in these tournaments that we wouldn't even have the opportunity to play with them otherwise. That's absolutely amazing from a global aspect.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's interesting too, and like part of that with the TPCI Asia, I kind of feel like we're not going to rotate the same time we normally do because of it. I don't
know if that's because of that. I haven't necessarily looked into the factors, but it would be really cool if we. I know a lot of people do not like Inteleon Engine for some reason. I like searching for the cards that I want.
Yeah, understandable.
If you're like, hey, Zach, you want to get directly what you want? Yep. But I think like rotation is it's one of those times that's really cool in Pokemon. It's also one of those times that can be deck building can be painful because you lose a lot of stuff. And I think that like people like having their cards. I have all these cards, I want to use them.
Yeah, and it's definitely hard on new players too, like with budget concerns as well. Like, just be like, oh yeah, hey, we're doing standard tournament. Oh, by the way, half your deck is left the format. You're gonna have to get some new cards, and people are like, oh, and it's rough on newer players. So to give them a little bit more time potentially, that's always a nice factor too.
When I was at the 1K, one of the judges talked about a time when he was judging at some regional, and someone rolled up into the juniors division and just had a deck of like, hey, I just my dad and I can want to play, want to play cards. I like Pokemon, and all his cards, I think for like 2 were like expanded, and they didn't understand the difference between expanded and standard, whatever it was. So just about to hit a theme deck, and he just played right out the theme deck, So that rotation can really catch people off guard. I've known of people, go away from PTCGL for a while, and they come back like, hey, I'm ready to play, and then they have like no decks. So like, where are my decks? Well, some stuff rotated, the game updated, and now you got to remake your stuff. So rotation is good. I hope they don't delay it, but if they do, I guess it puts us more in sync with what else is going on around the world too. So there's pros and cons to it.
Yeah, it's definitely weird because like normally by now we have an announcement at least, and I think there hasn't been anything formally announced about it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all just waiting for a whole bunch of announcements. I mean, things that I found that like were really weird over the past couple of years, just to throw it out there because I don't think it gets talked about. Like every single Worlds, they always announce like this new action's coming to the TCG, and I mean, then they show like one of the new Pokemon. We all go like, "What?" We were at a rave and stuff like that. We haven't had. I remember when a couple of years, like even during like the Players Cup,
during Players Cup.
Right, so
that's when they brought in the Calyrexes, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, Calyrex Shadow Rider seems so broken."
I don't think they announced it, right? Like, I don't think they officially announced that. I think they just made the set, right? Was I wrong?
No, they announced it.
There was an announcement, like sort of like at Worlds, how they would do it every year. They did one.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's
because Players Cup was around the time of was it Players Cup 3 around the time of Worlds, or was it 2? It was 3. It was 3, right?
They recorded. They did those way earlier than we all thought it was going to be. So. I had to hold on to those results for like a little bit. It wasn't like live. Obviously with PTCGO you can't get it live that nice, but anyways, I'm just excited for announcements. I know like at NAIC in previous seasons, because that's coming up in a few weeks. They usually announce the structure for next season, like the regionals that are coming up. And I mean, I'm excited to see what regionals are coming up. We ended the season or that half season where there's Toronto regionals. And then I was expecting it in this season. They're like, Vancouver, the other side of the country, Zach. I was like, oh, sick. I love Canada. But that was cool. It's one of those things where I'm really hoping for like maybe a Toronto Fall regionals. That'd be really awesome. I'd love to go see
Fresno.
Maybe Fresno regionals.
Come on, Fresno, please.
Oh, my God.
We all know the people are traveling up there anyway, so.
Yeah, everyone's got to play in the 1K. They might as well sign up for the regional at the same time, right? I mean, they just came out and said that we're getting official Pokemon leagues back starting the 7th. So
I heard about that. Someone mentioned that to me at the 1K, and I was like, "Really? I didn't know that."
Still waiting on like how they want it to be done, and I think you will need to follow like the COVID protocols, mask, designated food, drink areas, limited number of patrons per venue, so on and so forth. So we'll see how.
I don't know what that means for a lot of places. Yeah. I don't know about the stores if any of y'all have been to the stores, but I think it's vastly different than what official Pokemon tournaments look like, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are maskless. A lot of people are vaccinated, unvaccinated. No, it's the wild, wild west, and I think it's who cares, right? I think at that point, not to say that who cares about COVID or anything else like that. I hope that all the stores, if we get stuff back, that we are able to kind of grow that garden again.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of mom and pop card shops, they rely on drink and snack sales too for profit margins, and if they can't sell it or people can't eat it or drink it, they're going to lose a little bit of the profit area too.
You're right.
So that's a whole weird ball game there for all of that. So I hope they find a way to make everything work, and hopefully like local leagues coming back is a good foot in the door for a lot of new players too. All right, so let's talk about Milwaukee and what we think we're going to see. Definitely we're going to see some Palkia, and we're going to see some Arceus variants. Any other potential hot takes coming into it?
I think that if we kind of look at like how the metagame goes, historically at early events, which we also have this weekend, there's the Melbourne regionals that's going to have Astro Legal.
Oh,
I wouldn't. Yeah, I think Mew's going to dominate. We know how Mew is built. We know how well it does against some of these new decks. And if people are playing around with things like Palkia and non-dark decks or non-exclusive decks trying to beat Mew, I think that deck does very well there. I mean, I think that everything else for the most part hasn't necessarily changed from Brilliant Stars. Our format's more or less the same, but we have add a little bit of Regigigas, add a little bit of Blissey Miltank, at Palkia V-Star in mass quantities, and then the format remains the same. So we might see a couple lightning techs here or there, but I think the metagames can be relatively tame, especially as players struggle to acquire cards. I don't know about y'all, I actually do not have... I have one Palkia V, period. That's it from the set. Nothing else that's really relevant.
Yeah,
I've been lucky and unlucky at the same time with those Palkias and with just the cards in general.
Astro Radiance has been a little bit weird in comparison to other sets where, like, after the fact of release, card prices have continuously gone up. We talked about the Machamp last week on the pod and how it had a buyout and went crazy, and then TCGplayer put out an article and they used my tweets. And then now the Beedrill's going up in price.
That's another one too.
Out of nowhere, yeah, the Hisui and Sneasler alt art's going up in price, but yet like things like Darkrai V-Star is $30 US, Palkia $35, and like some of these things pre-sold at these prices, but they're going right back over the pre-sale prices, and it's actually kind of a weird thing where you've got like this group of people who are collecting out there, and then you got people scrambling to buy cards for these events, and then yet there's only one print run of Astro Radiance, so it's just making it really hard for people to get the stuff they want to get.
Yeah.
I'm close to Palkia. I have two. I ended up pulling 2 Vs and a V-Star and had to buy a V-Star for like $27.
$27 sounds like a steal nowadays.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. It hurt my feelings at the time. I was like, oh, my heart. But yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, it hasn't been like this in a hot minute for any set, honestly. And I feel like maybe it's because of we have in-person events again now as a big factor of it, and how, all these new Vs and V-Stars are relative to play compared to a pile of VMAXs that just end up in a dumpster. Like, people want to try these new decks, like Lilligant and Darkrai, and they might not be
taking a shot at
Go ahead.
You taking a shot at Dreadnought VMAX and Mimikyu VMAX? Come on, man.
I mean, yeah.
Give him a chance.
Kind of. Really, Dreadnought? Really?
Dreadnought, in a way, has what, 370 HP, 360, whatever it is.
I think it has.
He's a thick boy.
I think it has an ability that minuses some damage off, but I don't think there's any VMAX with 360. At that point, I might play it.
It's close. He's at what, 330, right? And then you minus 30 damage, 360. He's right there.
Can I introduce you to your new friend, Path to the Peak?
It's 320, and then it takes 30 less.
So 350.
That's not 370.
350. You slap a big charm on it, and then you know what? I'm going to use that for stonks. Let me type that in.
This just in. Gazer's not good at math.
That's okay.
It's okay. We still love you, Gazer.
But no, Zach. So far with Astro Radiance, man. I know the next regionals are, from here on out, the next major regionals are going to, be Astro Legal. Outside of Palkia, is there anything from this set that's like just going to be played or usable, or talk to me about that?
For Milwaukee regionals, I mean, I think we're going to see some of that Gigas action. I think it's fun for all the Yu-Gi-Oh kids out there trying to replicate Yu-Gi-Oh, the Exodia and
Exodia!
Stuff.
Yeah.
Obliterate!
Yeah, exactly. Then, yeah. So I think that's cool. I think the Blissey Miltank deck is cool. My definition of cool means that they're like tier 2-ish is how it feels reasonably. It's they can steal games off decks for sure, but I think that they're countered. Easily counterable is what I'd say. I think Ice Red got a little bit better from the sets because, again, Palkia, Radiant Halucha. I think this set's not really a set that has all-star cards. A lot of the cards are very good, but they're very deck-specific, or they need extra time to cook. So something like Dark Patch, you think is the coolest card ever. I think we need better Dark Pokemon before we see that come out, or we need a rotation or something. So my whole thing is just like, Dark Patch seems good. Gutsy Pickaxe. That's a card in past formats that we'd be dying for. Not really played right now. Even other things like Magnezone. So I think there's a lot of cards in this set that, like, over time we'll see play. So it's hard to pick and choose between those. I think just generally going over and like playing what you think is good right now is probably the best idea. But in terms of cards outside of the set, some of the cards that I'm the most excited about that I've been seeing a lot more or that I think could be successful are the Surfing and Flying Pikachu from Celebrations.
Yeah,
Hold on. Wait a second, Zach. Wait. You guys diss me and give me a hard time for Dreadnought VMAX.
And you're like, then Zach's gonna bring out the bleep 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 flying Pikachu?
Exactly. Explain yourself on that one, man. Tell me about the Pikachu.
Okay, Palkia stonks. Weak to lightning. Pikachu, lightning type. Arceus, Pikachu, hand in hand shake. I think that's about as easy as we can get there. So, big lightning VMAXs. They happen to be some of the best. Free retreat is kind of hot on the flying Pikachu.
Yeah.
The attack is also really cool against Regigigas, Dark Lightning Toolbox, Blissey Miltank, because they can't win against it. So, I mean, I'll give out the big leak. If there's any deck that I have in the back of my mind when I'm thinking about other decks, like I'll be like, oh yeah, Muse tier 1. I'm thinking about flying Pikachu Mightyena, and I'm just like, if I attack with flying Pikachu and hit these Palkia and decks that only play basic Pokemon, because it says for lightning colorless, if the defending Pokemon, if your opponent's basic Pokemon can't attack or do something to the Pikachu anyways, it's cool. And I mean, Mightyena knocks out Mew VMAX, and I'm like, this deck's hot.
Yeah,
Doesn't that falls to Miltank though, right?
Wait, what?
Miltank can attack you, but you can't attack Miltank either.
Yeah, I think you'll deck out your opponent first.
Oh, okay.
And then
they have all that stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't tested so much flying Pikachu versus Miltank. Actually, I'm testing some other things. But
the bright side too of the flying Pikachu versus other lightning like Tapu Koko is it's weak to lightning instead of fighting. So you don't have to be afraid of Urshifu popping its head back up for whatever reason.
Oh, that is kind of that's kind of hot right there. I'll give you that one.
I also think it kind of goes full circle because, like, for me, even like for the surfing Pikachu, when I was little Zach back in 2005, and I wasn't so little in 2005, I was a chunky kid that didn't hit his growth spurt. But it's one of those things where I brought the surfing Pikachu promo into my water type deck to League the first time ever, and of course it was like super like out rotated and stuff like that, and whatever. But it was kind of hot. I was like, oh, water energies on a lightning type Pokemon. This is such a good strategy, and it just really it was all right. But I mean, now we can play surfing Pikachu again in real life, and it's probably a little bit better than that moment. So
yeah, didn't one of them do well in Japan?
Yeah, I think there was an Arceus 1/1 surfing Pikachu deck with Inteleon that was really cool.
Yeah,
there's definitely some success there already, and I mean, if you want to beat Palkia, surfing Pikachu does a pretty good job.
Yeah, I can dig it. I think it's a cool tech piece.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm on board with that.
Any other sleeper decks that you think that might rear their head?
I think Arceus variants are just things that we need to continuously look into. See if there's anything else. Like, I could think of a bunch of Arceus variants, like Arceus Machamp VMAX. Have I got a chance to playtest that? No, but it sounds pretty cool, especially since we saw the success of Arceus Lucario V-Star. Mm-hmm. There's Cleaver V-Star. Like, there's all these cards surrounding the set. And I think there's just a lot of too many stones that are not... They're still covered. We need to uncover some more stones.
Okay.
Stuff like that. So I think it's pretty cool. A lot of things that you can do just like with a vanilla deck like Arceus and toss it in there. So I mean, I think Arceus variants are probably going to take the most. Mew's pretty much discovered at this point. I think Palkia is getting close to being discovered. The Regigigas deck, we only have so many Regis that we could toss in the deck.
Reggie.
Gazer's new
favorite. Out here doing the whole Braille thing. Does anyone else remember that from Ruby Sapphire?
Yeah, didn't figure out.
From Gen 3, yes. Yep. From Gen 3. Yes, sir.
That was fire.
All right, let's move into stonks. I know we have a limited time window tonight. So, Gazer, take it away, man. What do you think is the hot trend right now?
Okay, so don't laugh at me, but I think you could see I guess it's going to be not even a spike in play, but I guess you could finally see it being played. Can I interest anyone in Machamp VMAX?
A little bit.
Anyone at all? Okay, hear me out. Outside of the Mew matchup, it has pretty good matchups over the board. 330 HP is pretty thick, right? That's a big boy. That's a thick boy. The Revenge Buster. Something has damage counters on it. Okay, fine. You hit, 220, right? Slap a choice belt. That's if my math is correct, that's 250. Is that right?
I haven't looked at what the card does in a minute. I think it's okay.
Yeah. Like, you're good.
Yeah, 220 plus 30 is 250. You play Grant. That's another 30 damage. You're hitting 280. That knocks out all your V stars, right? There's no V star over 280, is there?
No, not at the moment.
Yeah, so you're knocking out all the V stars. Okay, V maxes, different story. You add in Halucha, you might be able to get to smaller V maxes, 310 damage, but the damage modifiers, can go from there. And then next turn, if you need Grant again, you have Grant. I'm thinking Machamp V max, freaking Babero, maybe some gutsy pickaxes, maybe some Cheryl. You want to get real cute with it. I think this could see some play in maybe one of your late nights, Zach, like in a random just a deck that gets the top 8 out of nowhere, and people are like, "What is this?" I say Machamp V max. I think the songs are going to go up on that.
Cool.
I'm just saying.
I think it'd be all right. Just got to play test to put some time into it and figure it out. There might be something there. For value, honestly, like again, last week we talked about the Machamp alternate art. All these alternate arts are going crazy. There's definitely some like mass collector targeting of Astro Radiance. Honestly, though, I would say actually just buy booster boxes for once. I know it's a weird take, but the prices of boxes for some reason keep coming down, and the odds of you hitting value out of it are just starting to look better.
Wait a second, Steuben,
if you can get a booster box of Astro Radiance for $90 to $100, I think it's a solid take for once.
For the last 2 months, you told me to start buying singles and stop buying products.
Now
you tell me to buy products.
Yes, to build a deck, buy singles 100%. To buy always just buy the singles you want for a deck specifically. But if you're just feeling frisky, I think Astro boxes are actually kind of a hot take.
I do feel kind of frisky sometimes, but my luck with boxes has been bad with this Astro Radiance. My boxes and ETBs haven't been that hot. Now my building battles, I bought about 10 of those, Zach. Building battles been fire. Full art Irina, the chick. Full art her. 2 Palkia Vs, a Palkia V-Star, Haluchas, Greninjas, all out of building battles. My building battles have been fire. It's those ETBs that I got to stay away from those. And the booster box I bought too. But you say if I can find a booster box for around $90, $100, things worth a shot to try to maybe grab a alternate art Starmie or something like that?
I think so. I think you have good odds, especially some of those trainer gallery cards. The Starmie's pushing closer to 50 USD. The Garchomp with Cynthia on it's almost a $45 card. A lot of those ones in there, the full art supporters, are $8 to $10 a piece out of the trainer gallery by itself. People seem to be hitting at least 1 or 2 of those mid to high end area ones out of that trainer gallery. And again, now there's multiple cards well over $40, $50 in the main set.
That's true.
Easily.
That's true. Funny story real quick, and then I want to hear Zach's stonks and see what he thinks is going to see some more play or go up in price.
I mean, I think I don't know if it's necessarily going to go up in play, but I think.
What are you thinking?
Darkrai V-Star, I think, is a little underrated. I might be underrating it myself. What was good before is likely good again, so I think it's one of those things that's pretty cool. I think just like building up a bunch of energies and basically playing Dark type Shadow Rider sounds very good.
I ran into a Darkrai V-Star at the 1K, and my Reggies were giving it the business. We're going 2 for 1, 2 for 2. The prize trade is in my favor. He has all those 2 prizes on the bench. He has the freaking he has a Hoopa back there, but Hoopa can't do anything. 90 damage, and I just one-shot it after that. And I'm taking out. He has a Crobat, and I'm taking out his Darkrai. It's a good battle. He played the Baby Moltres.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
He played the Baby Moltres, grabbed enough energy for it. He saved his V-Star for the last second, grabbed his Ordinary Rod from the discard pile, Baby Moltres, put it down, knocked out my was it my Regigigas or knocked out something. And if I return the knockout, he just finished me off. And my deck didn't play boss. I didn't put boss in my deck. And he got me both times like that. I lost both games the same exact way. Down to 2 prizes, Baby Moltres, boom, and I'm in trouble. But I handled his Darkrai pretty well. The damage can't get up there, though. The damage got up there. It scaled pretty high. You're not wrong about that.
I think it's just one of those decks that might like flourish at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if someone took it on a deep run and had this really cool list. I mean, I really like how the list that I'm playing goes.
Do you think it can really take off after rotation, or do you think it's happening right now?
I don't know. I think it could be anything. I go back and forth on it. I think it's pretty cool. So Darkrai is one of those ones. I mean, it's probably also going to just go up in price as well. I think what a lot of people fail to realize is that there's only one Darkrai V and V-Star available in the set. There's no I don't think there's a rainbow one, an alt art one, a full art one.
No,
So
in Japan
it's like
they were high class V decks in Japan. So same sort of treatment with the Gengar and the Inteleon before. Like look at Gengar, the VMAX before its success was like $25. And then now it's still a $15 VMAX out of a set that people don't like to open. So
for which one?
Right here.
Gengar VMAX. It had the alternate art only because it was like a lotto sort of situation in Japan with a release for that, but it didn't have a rainbow or another full art or anything to get out
You're
there.
Totally right.
Yeah.
So it was those high class.
I mean, I like that gang. I think I just like Dark Knight Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, I won a booster box. I won a booster box with Darkrai in a tournament last week at one of our locals, so it was a lot of fun. Deck field pretty crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
Shout out to our guy, Mr. Pokemon. He's been on the Darkrai wagon from the get go, and Subin, you and I wasn't on the wagon of it. Now you're on the wagon.
And I just kept pulling them, and I was like, well, if I have them all, I might as well play it. Might as well have some fun.
Man, there's speaking of dark types. Get this, and I've called this, and it might be on the way back now. Somebody took top 4 with Eternatus.
Oh yeah, here we go. Eternatus every week, Gazer.
Somebody took top 4 with Eternatus at the 1K. They took top 4. It had Eternatus. It had Samurott V-Star. It had Goons. I lost. No, I lost to a guy. I lost to a guy who ended up losing to that deck, and he said that deck gave his Arceus Inteleon deck the business. He said the pings were everywhere. The Goons. He played Obstagoon too, so extra 30 here. Eternatus came in and knocked stuff out. He's just said. It was just too much for him, and this guy took top 4. He ended up losing to Azul and his Mew, but Eternatus is on the way back. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's coming. It's on the way back.
You've said it every week for like the past 4 episodes.
I mean, I think like I thought about this the other day too, actually, and I was like, yeah, it should probably be Palkia. Then I realized that subspace spell counts all your extra bench Pokemon too. Yeah, that part's a little. That part was I was 2, like,
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
So if you got 8 on the bench, you're just hitting like what 160 off
180, 260,
220,
260 plus 60.
It's a little bit too much for 2 energies there. So I mean, 2 energy, 2 prize card Pokemon knocking out 3 prize card Pokemon. Yeah, I can imagine Palkia would probably you'd have to have a pretty bad start with Palkia to lose there.
Yeah, because you have to bench. You have to bench with Darkrai, or not Darkrai, Etern. You have to. If not, you just do nothing. So it's unfortunate there.
But I do think Samurott sounds kind of hot. I mean,
this guy had a Samurott. Think about it. If you had the Samurott and use the V-Star, that's 40. You hit for what? 240? So that's 280.
270.
Yeah. So that's a knockout right there anyway. So you don't have to necessarily go, with the Etern. You can just go Samurott, and you can go Zigzagoons like this guy played.
Okay.
I think Etern's a very good deck to introduce someone to the game. I think it's one of those things where strategies, it has the unique flair of building up that big bench. If I was playing in a tournament tomorrow, I probably would not be bringing Etern.
I'm gonna bring it back.
It's cool.
I'll show you guys.
It's an idea in the back of my mind.
Watch. I'm gonna bring Eternatus back. I'm gonna make a Dreadnought VMAX a thing. I'm gonna make Lilligant a thing. I got you guys. Watch this.
I mean, Lilligant, I have more faith in than the other two. You got to find the right build for Lilligant, I think, before we can actually see it succeed.
I swear I'm close. I'm like this close. I swear I am.
Okay. I challenge you to do it then.
I got you.
All right. Let's do the Q&A because we gotta get this man out of here. He's a busy man.
Got some Metafy coach and a link down below for his YouTube, his Twitch, his Twitter, his Metafy channel, everything.
Yeah, all the links will be in the description of the video and on the podcast. Of course, this is always going to be on Apple, Anchor, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, and of course YouTube a few days later. But first question is from X Tangram. Who inspired you to start making content?
I wouldn't say that there was any one group or anything else like that. I've always been really compelled to create content. But I mean, you got to look at some of the greats. And I mean, we see Top Cut, we see Tricky Jim. I mean, I think there's a lot of things out there. But I mean, it's a natural progression for anyone to kind of grow in there. I feel for all the players that just think that they can make it as players and go full time and stuff like that. it's not how that's going to work out. I mean, if you're not necessarily in that place, I think that content creation is just huge when it comes into it. I've always been dabbling around with article writing and stuff like that, having a video content. I just needed a computer. And I mean, the pandemic, I think if anything, the pandemic really pushed me into making that switch over. Because I think I'm probably known now more for my content than any accomplishment I have.
Yeah, there's probably people in your audience that might not even know that then. That you won Players Cup 2 and that you got second at Oceania. So like they might not even they may not even know, because I mean it was,
it's been a while, right?
Yeah. And you don't like flaunt it every single video like, hey, Zach Lesage here. Oh, I won Players Cup 2. Here's your deck profile, by the way. Like, a first time viewer is not going to have any idea, and if they stick around, then you never know. So,
you should open up every video just holding one of your trophies, either Players Cup or the Oceania one, just right by your head.
What don't Zach Lesage here. Just hold them on your shoulders or whatever.
Zach Lesage here.
Oh man. All right, Gazer, take the next question. There's a few risque ones, so good luck.
Oh boy. Okay, so I guess going back to our discussion on toilet paper, Bags90 asks, why doesn't Gazer wipe?
Yeah, Zach, why doesn't Gazer wipe?
I mean, maybe they have a toilet paper shortage out there. I'm not sure.
Gazer, there was that time in 2020.
I have to ask you, how many plies do you like?
2.
2?
2.
See, I feel my fingers must be strong or something, or I think it's one of those things where I need at least 4 ply.
Oh, 2 works for me. I tried 3, and 3 was just when I was using it, it's just falling apart, just rubbing to pieces. Like, this isn't going to work. So 2 was fine.
Gotcha.
That's kind of that's a personal statement, isn't it? My bad.
Oh, Gazer. Oh, Gazer. All right, this is definitely from a Canadian to a Canadian question from our friend Papa Toot.
Papa Toot.
What is your opinion on bagged milk?
It's all jiggly and stuff like that. Like you're trying to put it in the milk container, and then there's even the special milk cutters that you're snipping. And I mean, it's just not going to work out. I think we discussed a little bit earlier. If I'm any container of milk I have is in the one that are shaped like these larger things, like the cartons, I guess. We don't have like the gallons of milk or anything else like that. But I usually just go for more of like just like milk that's normal, I guess.
No, I want normal milk. At my elementary school, we had bag milk for a while. We had the carton, and they switched to the bag, which was about the size of maybe the size of these building battle packs I'm selling right here. Subin, I got them right here if you want them. It's about the size of this.
I don't even see shrink wrap on those, dude. Those sound like they have loose cards inside of them already. Are you trying to sell me your bulk?
Maybe they have.
I may have taken the good cards out, but there's still other cards in here. Trust me, there are cards in here.
So you're trying to sell me your bulk?
There's cards in here, and there's a few. There's a couple rares. Yeah, there's a couple rares in here.
And sometimes they leak. I swear, the leaky milk. Not a good leak in the fridge.
Luckily, that sounds bad. Luckily, ours never leaked. Next question from PJ. Shout out to the Shuffle Squad, by the way.
Yeah, you're actually guest number 3 from the Shuffle Squad we've had on so far.
We had Linty, we had LDF, and now we have Zachary Lesage.
Who's next? True. We're assembling the Infinity Gauntlet of Shuffle Squad members on the pod.
Every time we grab one of them, we just put them on there, into the gauntlet. But no, this is from PJ. Shout out to the Shuffle Squad. Who was Zach's favorite manager?
My favorite manager? Gotta give it out to my home slice PJ. Shout out to PJ. PJ, I don't know if PJ signs my paychecks, but shout out to PJ.
Totally not.
Two players never felt better in my saying them.
Oh,
I was going to finish that in a different way, and yeah. Anyway.
It's not because he pays you, right? It's because you shout out to PJ, right?
I think PJ is the only manager of the Shuffle Squad. Shout out to PJ.
All right, one final question before we get on out of here. What is your favorite deck list from Astro Radiance so far? From Mr. Pokemon 17.
I'm a filthy Mew player at heart, and
oh my gosh,
there's something out there when I'm using Silene and I'm like power tablet, Silene heads, power tablet on top of my deck. Good game. Extend my hand over the table. I get a little giddy off that. Or when I get a Pokemon catcher heads.
Oh my gosh.
We got the Yeezy 700 shoes that we could put on our Mew, and I mean, Mew's on the come up. Mew keeps on getting better every single set, and I mean, I think Silene and Trekking Shoes are my favorite cards to add into the deck.
Agreed.
Yeah, boy, Mew just be running. He just be running with the shoes, man. He just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was Azul Trekking Shoes. And when Azul plays, and I said about the 1K, when he plays, he's so just called Trekking Shoes, Trekking Shoes, Power Tablet, Power Tablet. I'm like, man.
Mew's hot.
He's so calm and calculated.
Mew gets a lot of hate. There's a lot of ways to counter Mew. It's a cool deck.
Yeah, there's tons of options for it too. So, and like you just said, every set there's always something new we can put into it and splash it in. All right.
I don't like Mew.
Well,
Zach, I thought you were my hero, man.
Oh, shame on you, Gazer. Don't be like that. All right. Well, Zach is a busy man and has to head off to coaching. So before we let you go, any shout outs you want to make, any last second things you want to say, the floor is yours. Take it away, Zach.
Yeah, no worries. I really appreciate both of you inviting me on here today. It's been great to hang out with you for the past hour or so. Got to give out a shout to the Shuffle Squad and everyone who's creating content out there. So if you haven't got a chance to check out the Shuffle Squad on YouTube, really cool over there, and I appreciate all the opportunities there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, beyond that, if you haven't got a chance to check out my content yet, check out Zach Lesage on YouTube. Try to post the most competitive Pokemon content daily. Beyond that, yeah, it's just been real. Thank you.
Anytime. Of
no,
course,
Zach,
all of
you,
Zach's
man.
links will be in the descriptions below on the episodes on Spotify, Anchor. Yahoo, I guess now we're putting it on Yahoo. No, I'm kidding.
Let's go.
Everywhere else, no, Yahoo's dead, man. It's just let it.
You guys hit up Zach Lesage for Metafy coaching. He's a great coach, man. Zach, I might need your coaching. You might have to show me how to play the Reggies the right way.
I mean, right now I can have a special 30% code off for any first-time person using Metafy. So if you are trying to get some coaching there, I mean, I'm not the cheapest coach on there by any chance. I think I'm actually on the other end of that spectrum. But I do put in a full week and really make sure that the coaching is worthwhile. So if anyone's ever looking for that, totally would love to hit me up. We even have free coaching consultations. So get a chance to know me a little bit, talk to me, and if the vibe's right, it's right. So
right on.
There we go. Zach, last question before I let you head out. When are you and I going to do another casting of a tournament, man? That was so dope. I enjoyed that so much.
We'll figure it out. We got late night season 5.
Let's go.
We'll make this happen. You gotta respond to my DMs.
Yeah, Gazer's notoriously bad at replying to messages.
Yeah. So maybe I invited you, just don't even remember. But
but Zach, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. We have to, man. I had such a good time with you that one time, man. I felt like we had good chemistry, bounced off each other pretty well. It was a good time, man.
Gotcha. Well, I gotta go jet, but again, really appreciate the opportunity and thank you so much, guys.
Anytime. Thanks for joining us.
Exactly.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.
Later.